Our topic is simplifying expressions. The essential question is, what strategies can you use to simplify expressions? So we're going to just dive into some examples. Simplify the following expressions. So when we're simplifying expressions, you're basically taking that expression, and it's an expression because there's no equal sign, and just making it look more simple. Okay, and when you do that, you just combine like terms. So right here I see that I have a bunch of constants. So you just literally combine those constants and you'll get your simplified answer. So 4 plus 7 plus 2, and then subtract 3. It's really 11 plus 2 is 13. 13 subtract 3 is 10. Okay. And then number 2, sometimes you might have to, multiply first, but follow those order of operations when you're given expressions that don't have a variable. So I see that there's no variable right there. I can do order of operations, and I see parentheses. It's a grouping symbol, but when there's just a number in the parentheses, you can't really do anything with it. So move on to the next thing, which would be exponents. No exponents, and then multiply and divide from left to right. It's next. So 2 times -3 is -6. Then bring down that plus 5. From there, you add and subtract from left to right, and -6 plus 5 is -1. All right, so you'll see that this expression right here, it's composed of variables. So you need to make sure that they are like terms before you combine them, okay? But yeah, they have to be like terms in order for you to combine them. So I see I have 1, 2, 3 b's right there. So when you add b plus b plus b, you would get 3 b's. And as I've mentioned before, if you're just given a variable, there's with no coefficient in front of it, you can assume that it's 1. Because it tells you that 1 tells you that there's only 1 b right there. And right there, that 1 tells you there's only 1 b right there and 1 b right there. So when you add those b's together, you get 3 b's and then minus c. And again, you can put the 1 right there if you want, but typically people don't do that just because maybe we're kind of lazy. And you cannot go 3b minus c because this term ends with b, this term ends with c, and they're not like terms. So that's as simplified as it gets. Number 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 e's. Plus, these two are like terms right here. They're constants, so 5 plus 2 is a positive 7. Number 5, let's see what goes with 2p. What I like to do is I like to circle my like terms because then it just makes it more clear for my brain. So I have there's p, that's it. So 2p plus p. Remember to circle the symbol in front of it. That right there is 3p. And then we have, let's see, there's a constant and there's a constant. So I want you to circle the symbol in front of it because it kind of helps you determine what to do. So think of a -4 or a -4 plus 9. -4 plus 9 is a positive 5. So watch what I do, plus 5. Okay, and then bring down that minus w. And that's as simplified as it gets because these 3 terms are not alike because they have different endings. This has got p with for its variable, this is constant, and this has got w as its variable. So that's it simplified. See how it was kind of long and then you simplified it down. Okay, don't be afraid if there's fractions in it. Just keep it normal. Look, they have like denominators. So 1/2 r plus 3/2 r is 4/2 r plus 9 because these are like terms. And you could also simplify it even further because 4 divided by 2, or 4r divided by 2 is 2r plus 9. So that's the most simplified answer. Okay, simplify these expressions, show 2 ways. Notice that you can't add what's in the parentheses first because they're unlike terms. So right here, you know how order of operations is like, hey, do parentheses or grouping symbols first, but you can't because you can't go x plus 5. Those are not like terms. So that's why I'm going to show you the distributive property, but also I'm going to expand it out to show you another way you could do this. So 2 groups of x plus 5. So one way you could do it is write one group of x plus 5 plus another group of x plus 5. Here's your group, here's your group, and you got x plus x, that's 2x, plus 5 plus 5 is 10. A faster way that I want you to get in the habit of using is just the distributive property. That means you go 2 times everything, every term inside of the parentheses. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times a positive 5 is a positive 10. Okay, try this one out. Add 2 groups of x minus 5. That's one way you can do it. So here's your group of x minus 5. Plus here's a group of x minus 5. There's my 2 groups. X plus x is 2x. Negative 5 plus a negative 5 is a negative 10. Again, the fast way to do this, probably, that I want you to get in the habit of using, is a distributive property. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times a negative 5 is a negative 10. Same exact answer. One's just a little bit faster. Okay, add 4 groups of 2p plus 7. So here's your group of 2p plus 7, plus a group of 2p plus 7, plus a group of 2p plus 7. That's 3 groups. Now one more group. And so 2p plus 2p plus 2p plus 2p is 4p's. Wait, just kidding. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh my gosh, it's 8p. And then 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is a positive 28. Okay, and that kind of took a little bit of time. So let me show you the distributive property way, because it's a little bit faster. That's 8p, and 2 times a positive 7 is a positive 28. Okay? Number 10. Oh, 4 groups of 2p minus 7. So here's 2p minus 7, plus a 2p minus 7, plus a 2p minus 7, plus a 2p minus 7. 2p plus 2p plus 2p plus 2p is 8p. Negative 7 plus a negative 7 plus a negative 7 plus a negative 7 is a negative 28. Okay? Notice the difference between these. They're very similar problems, but look what happens with the minus and with the plus, okay? Make sure you know that. Okay, now the distributive property. 4 times the quantity of 2p, 2 times p minus 7. So multiply. 4 times 2p is 8p. 4 times a negative 7 is a negative 28. Okay, look at those symbols in front of it. So, summary, when simplifying expressions with parentheses, which way was faster for you? And then which way did you prefer? Please answer that question. All right, on the back page, you're going to go ahead, we'll do a couple together, but then you're going to pause the video and you're going to see if you get them correct on your own, okay? And please correct any mistakes. For the summary, you're going to pick 5 from above. That says above. Copy them down and redo them. I would pick the 5 most challenging ones for you so you get that practice, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use a distributive property. 7 times r is 7r. 7 times a negative 8 is a negative 56. I'll try this one now. Oh wait, I'll go in order, I guess. Negative 8 times t is negative 8t. Negative 8 times a positive 5 is a negative 40. Okay, don't let this mess you up. Don't you dare, don't go 9 plus 2. Heck no. You gotta go positive 2 times u is a positive 2u. Positive 2 times a positive 7 is a positive 14. Bring down the 9. Simplify it from there. 9 plus 14 is 23. And then bring down your 2u. That one's tricky. Many of you will hopefully write that down as one of your 5 problems in the summary. Okay, right here. Number 4. Negative 6 times w is negative 6w. Negative 6 times negative 4 is a positive 24. Okay, look, negative times a negative, okay? That's why we got the positive 24. Don't let that mess you up. Stay focused. 5 times 4v is 20v. 5 times a positive 11 is a positive 55. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times a negative 9 is negative 36. Negative 1 times 10y is negative 10y. Negative 1 times a positive 7 is a negative 7. Hey, if it helps you, do your little tic-tac-toe chart over here that helps you with multiplication. Plus, 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 minus, 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 minus. Remember, multiplication is going to be going this way. So what does that say? Can't even read it. Oh, positive times a negative is a negative. A negative times positive is a negative. A negative times a positive. A negative times a negative is a positive. Whew. Okay. Back to here. Ooh, this number 8 is similar to number 3 up here. You take this negative 6 and times it by 2a, and that's negative 12a. Then the negative 6 times the negative 3 is a positive 18. Bring down that 4 now. And you go 4 plus 18, which is 22. Bring down your minus 12a. That's your simplified answer. Okay, 10 times a negative c. Remember, there's a 1 right there. So it's really 10 times a negative 1c, so that's negative 10c. And then 10 times a positive 4 is a positive 40. Okay, right here. Ooh, don't add those, seriously. Go there, times that. 7 times negative d is negative 7d. Positive 7 times a negative 4 is a negative 28. Now bring down your 5, and now simplify it. 5 minus 28 is negative 23, then minus 7d, okay? You should probably pick that one down there to do as one of your 5. That one's kind of challenging. Don't let it mess you up, okay? Learn it so you don't mess up later. Okay, negative 3 times negative e is positive 3e. Negative 3 times a positive 5 is negative 15. For number 12, you have a negative 9 times a negative f, and a negative times a negative gives you a positive, so that'll be a positive 9f. Then you take that negative 9 and you multiply it by this negative 6, and a negative times a negative gives you a positive, so that's going to be a positive 54. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and keep going. Okay, right here, you should get negative 4g plus 22, negative 27h minus 63. Okay, right here, multiply that first, positive 8y. Negative 4 times a positive 3 is a, whoops, it's a negative 12. Bring down your 10, simplify it. So 10 minus 12 is negative 2, and then plus 8y. Pause the video at any time so you can practice these, okay? Negative 18k, and then negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Okay, this is another one I hope you select to bring down there, because this one looks challenging. It says 5 minus this. Well, you need to multiply or distribute, that negative through. So negative times an m, positive m is negative m. A negative times a positive 6 is a negative 6. Bring down the 5. Okay, think about that. 5 minus 6 is negative 1, then minus m. Okay, right here. This could be another one you select to write down there. Negative times a negative n is a positive n. A negative times a positive 6 is a minus 6 or a negative 6. Okay? Okay, distribute it through. Negative x plus 12. Okay, distribute this through. Negative times a negative u is a positive u. A negative times a negative 5 is a positive 5. Now bring down the 7. 7 plus 5 is 12 plus u. Okay, distribute it through. Negative times a negative 2d is a positive 2d. Negative times a positive 8 is a negative 8. Negative times a negative 4v is a positive 4v. A negative times a negative 12 is a positive 12. Negative times a negative times a positive 7n is negative 7n. Negative times a positive 3 is a negative 3 or a minus 3. Okay, here's another one. That's negative 2y plus 4. Bring down that 6. Simplify. 6 plus 4 is 10 minus 2y. Now, it's okay also, I should have mentioned this earlier, if you wrote negative 2y plus 10. So if you wrote negative 2y plus 10 instead, same thing. Just make sure you keep that symbol in front of the number. So it's a negative or a minus 2y, still is. And that's a positive 10, still is over there, okay? All right, let's try these. Ooh, there's more terms inside the parentheses. So let's go ahead and do the same process. Negative times a negative 7 times a negative 2r is a positive 14r. A negative times a negative 8 is a positive 56. A negative 7 times a positive 2 is a negative 14. Simplify it from there. 56 minus 14 is a positive 42. Bring down your 14r. Don't add it anymore because these are not like terms. Ooh, this one's tricky. Negative 6 times 4p is a negative 24p. Negative 6 times a positive 8 is a negative 48. Negative 6 times a negative 1 is a positive 6. Now bring down that 5. Simplify, simplify. So 5 plus 6 is 11, right? Oh, 11 then minus 48. 11 minus 48 is negative 24. And then you have your minus... Oh, wait, hold on. I just messed up. I got confused. Okay, sorry. Negative 24p. All right, now I'm doing this. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 minus 48 is negative 37. I hope I didn't just really mess you up, okay? I'll slow down a bit. So the 5 is a constant, the minus 48 is a constant, and the plus 6 are all constants. 5 minus 48 plus 6 is a negative 37. Bring down that minus 24p or that negative 24p, okay? Or you could have written it like negative 37 minus 24p. You might want to copy that one down as one of your 5 just because I could have messed you up right there, and I don't want that to happen. I'm sorry. All right, number 27. 2 times a negative 9x is a negative 18x. 2 times a negative 5 is a negative 10. 2 times a negative 6 is a negative 12. Bring down your 3. Now simplify it. Nothing goes with that negative 18x, but we have constants right here. 3 minus 10 minus 12 more is a negative 19. Okay? All right, make sure you do your summary. Copy 5 from above, copy them down, and then redo them. Make sure you get the same answers up here because all these are the correct answers. Have a good day. Bye.